Hello students, in this video you learn about RAT. RAT stand for Remote Access Trojan, is a malware program that opens a backdoor, enabling administrative control over the victim's computer. Remote Access Trojan are typically downloaded together with a seemingly legitimate program, like a game, or are sent to the target as an email attachment. Once the attacker compromises the host system, they can use it to distribute remote access Trojan to additional vulnerable computers, establishing a botnet. Remote access Trojan can be deployed as a malicious payload using exploit toolkits such as Metasploit. After a successful installation, remote access Trojan achieves direct connectivity to the command and control server, controlled by the attackers. The attackers accomplish this using the predefined open TCP port on the compromised device. Because remote access Trojans provides administrative control, the attacker can do almost anything on the victim's computer, for example, monitor user behavior via spyware or keyloggers, access sensitive details, including social security numbers and credit card, activate a system's recording video and webcam, take screenshots, distribute malware and viruses, format drives, download, alter, or delete files and file systems. Why are remote access Trojans dangerous? Cybersecurity teams often have difficulty detecting remote access Trojans because they generally don't appear in running tasks or programs lists. Remote access Trojans commonly perform actions similar to those of valid programs. Also, an attacker will manage the level of resource use so that there is no drop in performance, making it more difficult to notice the threat. Here are several ways a remote access Trojan's attack can endanger individual users, organizations, or even entire populations. Spying and blackmail. An attacker who deploys remote access Trojans on a user's device gains access to its cameras and microphones. They can take photos of the user and their environment, use it to conduct more sophisticated attacks, or to blackmail the user. Launching distributed denial-of-service attacks. When attackers have remote access Trojans deployed on a large number of user devices, they can use these devices to flood a target server with fake traffic. Users are commonly unaware that their devices are used for DDoS, although an attack can result in network performance degradation. Cryptomining. Attackers can use a remote access Trojans to mine Bitcoin or other cryptocurrency on a user's computer. By scaling their operation across a large number of devices, they can generate significant earnings. Remote file storage. Attackers can leverage remote access Trojans to store illegitimate content on the devices of unsuspecting victims. This way, authorities cannot shut down the attacker's account or storage server, because their data is stored on devices belonging to legitimate users. Compromising industrial systems. Attackers can use remote access Trojans to take control of large-scale industrial systems, including public utilities like water and electricity. The attacker can sabotage these systems, causing widespread damage to industrial machinery, and potentially disrupting critical services to entire areas. How do rats infect a system? Remote access Trojans can infect a system in various ways. Here are some standard methods that attackers use to spread remote access Trojans. Email attachments. Attackers can use phishing emails with infected attachments to spread remote access Trojans. These emails may appear from a trusted source, such as a bank or a well-known company, and can trick users into opening the attachment, infecting the system. Malicious websites. Attackers can create malicious websites with drive-by downloads to spread remote access Trojans. Such a website automatically downloads and installs the remote access Trojans on the user's computer when they visit it. Software bundles. Remote access Trojans can be bundled with legitimate software and applications, and when a user installs them, the remote access Trojans is also installed on the system. USB drives. Attackers can also infect a system by spreading remote access Trojans through infected USB drives. When a user inserts the USB drive into their computer, the remote access Trojans is automatically installed on the system. Here are common remote access Trojans. Sacula. Sacula is a seemingly benign software with a legitimate digital signature, yet it allows attackers complete remote administration capabilities over a machine. Use is simple. Unencrypted HTTP requests to communicate with its control server. It leverages the Mimikatz password stealer to perform authentication using a pass-the-hash technique, which reuses operating system authentication hashes to hijack existing sessions. Havex. Havex is a remote access Trojan that targets industrial control systems. It grants attackers full control over industrial machinery. Havex uses several mutations to avoid detection and has a minimal footprint on the victim device. It communicates with the command and control server over HTTP and HTTPS. Dark Comet. Dark Comet was first identified in 2011 and is still actively used. It grants full administrative control over infected machines and can disable Task Manager, Firewall, and user access control on Windows machines. Dark Comet uses encryption to evade detection by antivirus. Alien Spy. Alien Spy is a remote access Trojan that targets Apple OS X and macOS platforms. It collects information about the target system, activates the webcam, and securely connects to the control and control server to enable complete control over the machine. Alien Spy uses anti-analysis techniques to detect the presence of virtual machines. Sub7. Sub7 is a remote access Trojan that operates in a client-server model. The server is the component deployed on a victim machine, and the client is a GUI used by the attacker to control the remote system. The server attempts to install itself into the Windows directory. Once deployed, Sub7 enables webcam capture, port redirects, chat, and provides an easy-to-use registry editor. Defending against remote access Trojans. Here are a few ways you can defend your organization against the risk of remote access Trojans malware. Security training. Strict access control procedures. Secure remote access solutions. Zero Trust security technologies. Focus on infection vectors. Look for abnormal behavior. Monitor network traffic. Implement least privilege. Deploy multi-factor authentication.